Benjamin has the next Patreon question for me to answer, which is right in the title of the video. How can actors avoid typecasting? As we know, there are many actors who find themselves playing similar sorts of roles throughout their career. This is either through choice or those are the only roles offered to them. Some actors are fine with this, while others try to branch out. Probably the most common example of actors who attempt to move away from their usual characters is when comedic actors try to venture into drama. Probably the most well-known example is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey became a star with wild and manic characters like Ace Ventura and The Mask. Those were the only roles he was offered until he attempted to show a different side of himself with The Truman Show. There was still a bit of his comedic persona, but the film showed he was adept at drama. Tom Hanks similarly began in comical roles, and his early film successes were in comedies like Turner & Hooch and Big. It's easy to forget now, but Hanks playing a man with AIDS in the drama Philadelphia was a big deal at the time, and that, coupled with Forrest Gump the following year, showed his versatility as an actor. Steve Carell is also lately in the phase of his career, where he jumps between comedies and more dramatic roles. Of course, there's also the curious case of Eric Bana. In his native Australia, Eric Bana was a stand-up comedian and a regular on sketch shows. However, when he started getting cast in Hollywood movies, it was in dramatic and action roles, and for the most part, he's stayed in those genres since. One actor who has really proven herself a versatile actress is Amy Adams. After she broke out in her Oscar-nominated role in Junebug, Adams was primarily cast in roles of largely good-hearted characters whose innocence was tested, although she has said she never saw this as typecasting. She just responded to characters with an optimistic outlook on the world. She did manage to take on more dramatic roles in films like The Fighter, Arrival, The Master, and Vice, along with her recurring role of Lois Lane, who she has depicted as a tough-as-nails investigative reporter. Even then, she still plays light-hearted roles like in The Muppets and Her, which is a credit to her abilities as an actress and her excellent track record in picking which movies to act in. When Margot Robbie first grabbed the attention of a lot of people in The Wolf of Wall Street, there was this thought she might get typecast in sexy roles. Thankfully, that has not happened, as proven by her performances in I, Tonya and Mary Queen of Scots, among other films. One of the most interesting cases of an actor being typecast twice is Mark Hamill. After his success with Star Wars, he was only ever seen by casting directors as Luke Skywalker. Hamill was even turned down when he auditioned to play Mozart in the film adaptation of Amadeus because of this, despite already having played the role on stage. However, he was then cast as the Joker in the Batman animated series, and most of his voiceover roles have been as villains. Now, you do have actors who don't mind being typecast. Bruce Campbell often plays loud-mouthed and over-the-top characters in both horror films and comedies, and he loves it. He even directed a comedy called My Name is Bruce that lampooned the roles he happily takes on. Arnold Schwarzenegger is another actor who recognizes his strengths and weaknesses and seems to prefer doing science fiction action films and high-concept comedies that place him in out-of-place situations. Although I've often found him to be funnier in his action movies than in his comedies. Jackie Chan also gets a thrill from playing his action roles, although he has stated a preference for the more serious action films he makes in China over his American comedies, and his more recent roles seem to reflect this. So in the end, what can actors do to avoid typecasting? Well, sometimes it's a case of seeking those roles out, or maybe the director sees something special in them that others might not. And that role could be the one that propels them to other parts. I guess it depends on the audience and if they buy said actor as a different character. Thank you for your question, Benjamin.